everybody, welcome to my channel. Yes, I bought a refurbished Chinese motorcycle. Let's go ahead and roll the video and we'll talk about it.
You think you know me?
Burn it down!
I bought this motorcycle from Powersportsmax online. They were selling this as a refurbished motorcycle. It was already assembled and it has about 250 miles on it approximately. I think somebody must have already bought this and then sent it back. We're going to talk about the standard features. Like I said, this DLX model is fuel injected and has the inverted forks. The regular Hawk is a carbureted version. They're pretty similar in other ways, but that's the biggest thing as far as the DLX. The EFI, which I wanted the fuel injection because I'm going to drive this in colder weather. And of course the inverted forks are going to be a little bit better of a ride. This model also comes with a 21-inch front wheel and an 18-inch rear wheel. Knobby tires, obviously. This is actually a dual sport motorcycle, so I can use this on-road and off-road legally. Alright, these are also called a chonda, hashtag chonda. The engine and everything is actually designed after a Honda 250cc motor. Well, actually it's a 229cc, so technically it's only a 230. I know a lot of the new dirt bikes and enduros and stuff come as actually a 230 class motorcycle. Okay, from the front to the back we'll start. This actually has your standard light bulb. It has your standard turn signals, and of course these turn signals are flexible, so when you drop the bike you don't actually break them. Just like your standard dirt bike and enduros and everything have. This motorcycle has a 5-speed transmission. It has a 15-tooth sprocket in the front with a 52 sprocket in the rear with a 428 series chain. It also has 8.6 inches of ground clearance. This motorcycle also has a 36-inch seat height. This XPRO HAWK is said to run about a top speed of 68 miles an hour depending on the rider's weight. The bike itself actually weighs about 310 pounds with a full tank of gas. This HAWK DLX is said to have roughly 15.4 horsepower. I don't agree with it being strongest. Alright, let's talk about this particular motorcycle. Powersportsmax sold this to me for roughly $1,800 delivered, already assembled. Now if you were to purchase one of these bikes from them brand new online, delivered and everything, they're roughly $2,200 to $2,400 depending on which package you get with this bike. To me, I've purchased refurbished products in the past and I've had no issue with them. You know, other things, I've never obviously bought a refurbished vehicle, and I'm not sure exactly what they meant by refurbished, but it's definitely used. I wouldn't say they refurbished anything, and I'm going to show you a few of the issues I have with this bike right now. Alright, first of all, when you tell me you sell me something refurbished, like I've bought Kindles and all kinds of stuff online from Amazon that were refurbished and never had an issue. When you say refurbished, this bike should be ready to go. And one of the first things you're going to notice, this being a street legal motorcycle, there are no mirrors on this. And it will not pass inspection. That's not street legal. Not a big deal, right? But there's a reason why the mirrors are missing. As you're going to notice, and these are minor things, honestly, it's a dirt bike. It probably got dropped. There are scratches all over the body and on here. As you can see, it's actually missing 2 out of the 3 bolts that hold this cover onto the exhaust. And of course you can see where they dropped it. There's some rust marks there where it scuffed the ground. It's missing a vent tube, which I've had to keep a piece of painter's tape on this because I don't want water getting into the gas tank. And I don't know if they originally assembled it themselves, so the previous buyer assembled it. They also forgot to put the screws holding the body panels on. Now the vehicle's still obviously drivable without that, but I don't think they ever installed the screws. Another thing you'll notice right here, there's rust right here on the bottom of the frame, and this is actually a chemical stain on this front sprocket cover. While the batteries behind here, come to find out that battery leaked acid all down through here and on there. Well, this bike actually has a little bit of a hard time starting. I've actually charged the battery up and it still has a hard time starting. Of course, another thing I'm missing, because I took it off, this bike had been dropped on this right side brake handle. The end is broken off. So to me, this was not a ready to ride refurbished motorcycle that I purchased from them. Now, before I ramble on and on about complaining about what they sent me in this motorcycle, yes, you do take the risk of buying a refurbished motorcycle. However, in my opinion, if you sell it as refurbished, it should be a bike that's already been fixed and ready to ride. I'm not sure what they actually refurbished on it, but the one good thing about Powersportsmax, I had been emailing them back and forth about these little issues, the mirrors missing, the brake handle broken, you know, the screws on the covers missing. You know, yeah, some of those are easy fixes. I can do those myself. They're actually going to send me $75 back to replace all those missing pieces and broken pieces. So I will say Powersportsmax is living up to selling a bike that I am going to actually enjoy and be able to ride. Now, I'm still waiting on my paperwork, so I can't do a road demo for you, but I can go ahead and start this bike up. Alright, before I start this bike up, I'm actually going to show you. This thing has an ignition that actually locks closed, which I thought was really interesting. It has this little piece on the end here. You put that in there. Now I've actually unlocked to get to the ignition, and of course this has an actual steering lock built right into the ignition. We'll go ahead and put the key in right now. I'll get it set, and of course we'll do our standard startup for a motorcycle. Like I said, the battery's kind of weak on this, so I'm still waiting on that new battery. But you'll see the nice thing, this has that digital speedometer, you know, digital for the gas tank. It has the RPMs, the trip odometer. A lot of this, you know, it's simple, but it's kind of a nice little screen that they have on these DLX. The bike is actually idling a little bit lower than I believe it should. I might have to make an adjustment up here. This is fuel injected, so it should be idling a little bit higher. They do say this motor should be idling roughly around 2,000 RPMs, but there is a way that I can adjust that. Pretty quiet exhaust. Sounds decent. Not the same as Indian Scout 60, obviously, with the aftermarket exhaust on it, but nice quiet. Seems to be running pretty decent. I think it'll run a lot better once I replace that battery. Alright folks, like I said, I don't have the paperwork to put this on the road yet, so I can't take it out and do a demo ride for you. But stay tuned, and I'll be doing a lot of modifications and upgrades to this bike. And then once it's legal, I'll actually test it out to see if it'll actually hit that 68 miles an hour like it says. I have a feeling it really won't go that fast. I weigh about 240 pounds, so I believe it will probably be a little bit heavier rider for this bike. But thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a fun project, fun extra bike to ride around on. Stay tuned, come back for more. Check out my other videos. Bye for now.